Welcome to Risk SA TV. We're here at the first day of the PSG Conference 2014 and we're speaking to Dawie Klopper, investment economist at PSG Wealth. Welcome, Dawie.
Thank you, Christine.
Our first question for you. You mentioned so many economic factors that are, boggling the minds of business owners out there. What for you are the top things that businesses need to be aware of?
Yeah, maybe they should be aware of a slowing economy in South Africa. That may be the result of short-term factors that's having a play at the markets now, the economy specifically. It was the election now. That may have affected the outlook. There is the strike ongoing in the platinum sector. There is the Eskom problems that they must be aware of. And we need to solve those things, especially then I think that will then create confidence for these business owners. I think that is perhaps the biggest single thing that we need in this country now is confidence to come back. Consumer confidence, investment confidence, and maybe a good result in the election may play a role in that. If they can solve the strike, that will play a role. If they can sort out the Eskom problems, that will all play a role. I think we also need a change in the top of the government because I think that is sort of making people worry. And if they worry, they will not invest. And that's what the country now needs: is investment from the private sector. I think there's a lot of scope in the private sector. But people will not invest until they feel happy that they will be supported by government and that they will be protected by government. And yes, we can get there, but a number of things must happen.
That's a lot of negative sentiment in the economy, but you sound quite optimistic about that.
Yeah, there is a lot of negatives, but then again, the worst never happens in South Africa, and also the best never happens. But I don't think we need to be that despondent about what's going on in this economy. As it is, we've got a wonderful story to tell. Part of that story is if you talk to foreigners, they will tell you, well, this country is so cheap, it offers so much potential. They cannot wait to come and visit, and that's why we see that tourism is doing well. So they cannot wait to come and visit. They cannot wait to buy our assets. And we should not be too despondent because then they will come and buy our assets and they will come and enjoy our country whilst we are sort of sitting backwards and wait for somebody to do things for us. I think we must just be positive and start doing things because the worst will not come to fruit. I think we can be quite confident that as part of the world, as part of the recovery that's taking hold in the world, we can also participate in that. As I've just said, a number of things must happen, but I think we can sort of lay the groundwork so long and start to build on that.
Great. That brings us to the little thing of the rand. You're quite optimistic that will strengthen. Why is that?
Because it's so weak. It's a quite easy one. And the rand has already priced in all of those negatives that I've mentioned. We've got some deficits in the country, a deficit on the budget, a deficit on our current account, but the rand has priced all of that in. The rand has weakened too much, and as I've said, these foreigners sort of look back into South Africa and say, well, there's a lot of value for them to be at, and the point is that they will make use of that, and because of them coming back into the country and start to invest again, starting to buy our equities, starting to buy our properties, you can typically then expect the rand to strengthen on the back of that. If you look at purchasing power parity, which is just a measure of measuring how weak or how strong the rand is, it's clearly too weak at this stage, and therefore we expect the rand to recover from fairly weakish levels, yes, but most of that negativity was priced in already.
Okay, you mentioned that offshore equities has definitely been the place to be over the last year. What can investors expect from the markets for the rest of 2014 and going forward?
A good question. I don't think investors should expect another big run in the markets, but I don't think it's over also. I think there's more to come from the markets, perhaps only 10-12%, but a continuation of the bull market. Certainly, I don't think we should expect another 20 or 25% from the markets. Markets are slightly expensive now, so we need profit growth to come through to support the market. Can profit growth come through? Yes, possibly on the back of the weak rand. That should support our exporters, should support our companies that's doing business offshore. And then also internationally, we're seeing some good solid profit growth numbers coming through. And if it goes well in the offshore markets, like I expect those markets to continue, then we will benefit from that. We will play off that.
Okay. Top tip for advisors who can't be with us at the conference today, whose clients might be a little wary of everything that is happening right now?
Okay, tip would be expect some volatility perhaps. There will be volatility, but the point is don't panic when it happens. Stay in for the long term and buy good quality companies, good quality funds, and that will support you. If you stay with that sort of recipe, I don't think you can make a big mistake.
Good advice. Thank you very much, Davy. For Risk SA TV, I'm Christy van der Merwe.